Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you're here. I have a quick little flip today of these beautiful ladies. I'm calling them Pretty in Pink, and they're kind of like skinny minis. I got inspired, I got the idea from Girl on the Ridge. I'm going to link her YouTube channel underneath. She has a beautiful Etsy store and she is so talented. She sells her journals also. And she has, I've never been to her live, but she does have lives with Maggie White, who's I've known forever. And excuse me, well, she makes a lot of these cascading minis, and I always wanted to try one. So I gave it a try, but completely inspired by her. Go check her out. You're gonna love her work. Okay, so these pretty ladies have already been listed on my Etsy shop. I just haven't had time to do a flip. There's only 2 of them. And again, I've been trying to keep them to like a minimum. These are a little longer, and the pages are supposed to be, like I said, cascading. But once you embellish them, I lost some of the cascading effect. You can still see it. It's still there. But it's not as much because they're very embellished. So again, I did my, this time I use, it's an exposed binding. And this time I used some sari silk ribbon for it. It's one signature. I'm going to have, I think all the measurements are already on my Etsy shop. Like I said, it's one signature. I did this time, got a little carried away, and I did do a big, beautiful little bow up here, little tassel with all kinds of pretty trims and laces, and I found the perfect bead for it, little dangle for it, because it's the softest pink, and then it has a little tassel down here made out of the little chains. Super adorable and cutie. So it just has a little bit of bling up here just because of that, but everything else is just all kinds of yummy laces and things from my collection. It's not too heavy. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on the binding, even though my covers are very sturdy. These are made, this is a paper from a paper collection, but I back them up so they're sturdy, and they're not gonna, you don't need to reinforcement, they're not going anywhere. But anyway, this is the front. I have a little presentation pack like I always do in the front, and I also have some goodies in the back, an envelope that I did. So let's get to it and let me show you. I only have 2 of these ladies. Yep, I was only able to make 2. Oh, let me show you real quick my props. I'm on a mission to show you my props. Over here, you can't really see it because I think I need to back up a little bit. I went with swans. I have 2 swans. I have this beautiful little thing I found at a garage sale. I love swans. And these millinery flowers that I've had for like a long time. And I keep this out where I can see it so I can snip and take little pieces here and there. But he is so pretty. There's no name on him or anything, but I love him. So he sits over there on my shelf. And then this little box is a set of 3 boxes that I made a while back, and they hold, I just store all kinds of things in them. So I did a little swan. I gave her a little necklace. I think she was also a garage sale find. I set her on some moss. And then I found this beautiful golden key. I would like to think that's the key to my secret garden. This box has everything that I love in it. I did the edges with velvet ribbon, which is my favorite. And that's what she looks like. And like I said, it's like a nesting set. There's 3 of them. And inside I just store all kinds of goodies. This one, for example, I'm storing tiny little teapots and a little sewing kit, and there's even like a little tea tray. So I love everything that's in here. A little milk jug for the tea. So there's all kinds of little goodies in here that I like. Oh, and this lady, isn't she pretty? She's holding an Eiffel Tower, of course. So these are just storing little boxes. So I figure I'll use stuff around my room that are going to be like my props, and then you all get to see them in case you want to make some props for your crafting area. Okay, so now that all this pretty goodness is out of the way, let me get to the journals. Okay, so let's open one up. I use my German twine. I'm gonna kick with this twine, and I think all throughout fall I'm gonna just use it. I love it, and I think it adds like a really nice rustic look to this really dainty little thing that looks like a cake. I mean, it's so pretty. So let me show you the back, what I did, the envelope in the back. I had so much fun. I wanted to do these little, you know, where you punch the little, I use a little punch that I have. It's not very big, and I backed it up. I used this tiny little punch, and I wanted to make this like a little sturdy, so I backed it up, put some cardstock in the back. I de-stressed the edges. I used my pokey tool to poke a little hole in there, and I used a brad. So I made my own little binding way back here. And here I have linked all the paper collections that I use, but I cannot remember off the top of my head what they are. This envelope was inspired, I think it was inspired by Angela Kerr also, because I've been watching a lot of her videos, and you know, she inspires me so much. So I did my own envelope. She talked about these labels that I went ahead and bought right away. I'm going to link that underneath. I did a little bit of stamping here, my favorite script stamp, and then here I did a stamp. It's supposed to say airmail, but it was kind of faint. And then here I had some of my own ephemera stamps, and then this is another stamp from another stamp collection that I have. And I really want to start to challenge myself and incorporate more of my stamps, because I love using stamps. And then up here I did a little trim with some sari silk and this beautiful ribbon that I have been saving. Let me see if I can show you. For like ever and ever, this pink, and it's like velvety and it's beautiful. So I put a little bit of that, and that just kind of sits in the back, and then the sari kind of pokes out of the, it looks beautiful when you have it there. And then the inside, I did a little collage here to cover the brat, the little feet of the brat. The brat, I don't like that showing, so I just made like a little collage to hide it. And then inside, not that there's anything wrong when they show, nothing wrong, it's just me. So inside I have some goodies, and all that I have is a really pretty receipt. I think this is from Ruby and Pearl. She has a bundle that it's all about receipts. I think, is it French receipts? I don't know. Well, this is not, I don't know, but it's a bundle. I'm going to link her store underneath. So you can journal in the back, plenty of room to journal on. And then I have this little, just a little extra of the designer paper that I made a little area for you to journal on. And then I did a little cluster here of, can you see them? I think this might be too bright. Let me try something, you guys. Oh, that made it worse. See, is that better? Yeah, it's a little better, sorry. So I have like 3 little layers there. So this is just a little tuck little spot here, right in the back, and that goes in here, and then that's sealed, and then I have it like that, so you get to see that. This is the back. This is the paper collection that I use. Isn't this beautiful? And then I did my own stamping here with my script stamp, just very faintly. Not that this paper needed anything, because it's beautiful on its own. It's just absolutely gorgeous, but I went ahead and did a little bit of my stamping, just very faded like I like it. So that's the back. And then for the front, for the little presentation, little packet in the front, I have another vintage receipt that I de-stress for you, front and back. And of course, you know, you can journal all over here, wherever you like. And then I made a little journaling card, a little bit long, like this one. I love it. This is mimicking the front cover, and I love it. And I still have a little bit of my favorite little circle lace, so I use that. And then, you know, you can journal everywhere. That goes here. And then I have a little envelope. I think the envelopes are different in both of them, but it's really the only thing that's different because they are both the same. This is the envelope on the other one, and this is the envelope on this one. Equally beautiful. But see how some things are just a little bit different, but everything else is the same. I had so much fun making this. I found this lace not too long ago, a bunch of it at a garage sale, and I'm in love with it. It's a little fragile. I mean, it's been probably put away for a while, but I still salvage some of it, so I love it. And then the little envelope for the closing in the back, all that it is just a little label, and then I just tuck the closure in the little label, but it got stuck. Oh, I'm gonna have to, it got stuck in the, I'm gonna have to fix that. It got stuck in the glue, a little bit of the glue that was left in there. So I'm gonna fix that, maybe a little washing it. And then inside, there's a few little things in here. There's another receipt that you can journal on. I'm like in love with this receipt. I used it on another journal not too long ago. You can journal in the back. And then I put in a couple of little tags. I love this paper collection. And this is from another graphic designer, and they work well together, so I use them. Okay, so it got glued there a little bit, so I'm going to have to use a little washi tape there just to correct that. That's the wonderful thing about junk journals. You make a little mistake, no problem, they can be fixed. And then here I made like a little tuck, little spot. You can use it like this if you like to. Originally I was thinking of using it like this, but then I changed my mind and I put it like that. You can use it however you like. And again, because I'm trying to keep these journals a little bit so that you have, since they're not as many pages as my jumbo journals, I'm trying to keep them a little bit plain and giving you the option of whether you want to use this inside or not, or use it on another journal. So just give you that option, because again, I wanted to leave as much journaling space as possible for you. So in this little little spot area, I have to show you how I made these. Make sure this whole thing comes off. And then it's just, I did a little collage here, created like a little pocket. And what I used to make these, I'll show you some that I started and they're kind of naked. They're not finished, see? This is a folder from some that like this, a file folder thingy. Yeah. And then that's my backing. So see, this one's going to be like that. I have to do a tutorial how I do these. They're so much fun to make. I think I did something similar, but I'm getting a little bit more confident, so they're getting a little bit more fancy. But anyway, I use some of my brown paper bag on the side, peeking through, that I like to just kind of crush. I did do a little bit, I try to keep the sewing to a minimum, but I can't help it. I did do a little sewing on the side just to hold the little pocket in. And then this little part that I flipped over, I was going to use velvet ribbon, which would look lovely. But I have so much going on that I said, you know, I just let the designer paper do his thing and just show and be pretty in there. And then underneath on this side, I have another designer paper. And then here I have just a little tuck area with some little labels. This is like a half moon little label. Look how pretty that paper is. This is the paper that's on the cover. Isn't that gorgeous? So that goes right in here. And then this is a little trim that I love. I still have a little bit left. And this is a new trim that I got not too long ago, so I was dying to use it. So I used it here. And then the back I covered in vintage music sheet that, of course, you can journal everywhere if you want. Because I get asked a lot of questions like, where do you journal? You can journal anywhere you want. It's your journal. And then this you can either tuck like this or however you like. And then inside the pocket, inside the little pocket that I made, there's more goodies. It goes like this. There is this little, no papo. There is this little vintage wallpaper little tag, journaling little tag. This is from Ruby and Pearl. I know that because I love it. Papo, please. This is my cat. And then here I made a little, kind of like a little, you can turn this if you want into a little booklet. I have one on the other side too. You can, but I left it alone in case you wanted to use some of the little pieces of paper on the inside. But you're welcome to sew in the middle and turn it into like a little book if you want, like another little journaling book if you want. But I didn't do that. It's very easy. You just find the center and just sew in the middle if you want to do that. But I didn't do it because I think these will make for great little journaling spots on their own that you can use throughout, or you can collage. And if it's sewn, it's going to be harder to, look at this beautiful ledger paper in pink. Isn't that gorgeous? It's going to be harder to tear apart. So if you want to turn it into a little, look at, and the back side is blue. Isn't that beautiful? You're welcome, look at that. You're welcome to turn, I love this receipt. You're welcome to turn it into like a smaller little flip, or use it like that, or, scatter it throughout. So that's the back of the little tucky little area here. And then I found this really pretty, this is from the same, I've used this paper collection before. It's this punch right here. This is the paper collection. I left the back blank, and then I put some of that ribbon that I told you that I love. That's let's see, is it focusing? Yeah, that feels like it's a little velvety. And then I had 2 pieces of this little mauve little bling left, so I put that in the corner. And then I made the cutest little tag. Look how pretty. I love this tag. And I made this really soft little sari silk ribbon. I tore the ribbon in half because it was too thick, and then I just put a little bow on it. And I just am in love with this printable. Look how gorgeous that is. I'm gonna put the store name on the description below. So that's the little presentation, the front little presentation packet. Okay, so for the journal herself, this is her, isn't she pretty? So for the first cascading, I wanted to make sure to see my ruffles that I make. This is my favorite sari that I found. And sari silk ribbon is kind of like a gamble every time you order, because they don't get them from the same place. So they'll say pink, but it could be a different pink. So I was so happy with this batch because it was a really soft pink, and then it turns a little darker, and I love it. So I want to make sure that was like a focal point in my first little cascade. So you see all the little cascading pages. They're just a little blurred because of the fact that I couldn't help myself and I embellished them. So for the front here, I found this other piece of ribbon not too long ago. And it had the perfect little pink flowers, and it has like a silk little ribbon that goes through it. It's so cute. So I cut a little snippet off and I just put it in that little corner. But look at the paper, how pretty that is. This would make a great journal for just about anything. I don't know if you're taking up a new class, or even a devotional, or an inspiration, or if you want to jot down some ideas on some upcoming projects. This is like a girly journal. Make it your own. Okay, so here we go. And then this is, I already showed you the back. And then for the back, I use this beautiful, this is tea-dyed lace that I've had for a little while. Okay, so the first page is always more narrow. So what I did is that I de-stressed, I tore the edges and I de-stressed it. And I did back it with some of the file folder, which is perfect because they're sturdy. These can take a little beating, even though it's an exposed even though the back is exposed, it's not sewn in. It's just attached really tightly. It's not going anywhere. But those file folders that I got are just perfect for this. So when you open the first page, there's a beautiful vintage receipt in the softest pink. So I wanted these 2 pages, when you open them up, to be like pink and pink. So the ruffle went on this side, and then on this side it's just the sari by itself, and it's so pretty. And then these can also act like a little tab. I did a little bit of my script stamping in some of the pages, not all of them. On this page I have a blue receipt because there's like a little bit of blue going on, so I wanted to incorporate a little bit of blue in the background, of course, also. So of course, you can journal all along here. You can journal everywhere. The back, this is a page that it torn a little bit, but I like it like that. And I like it when it crinkles up and everything. I love that. So that page, and I de-stressed it. I mean, I made the edges rough, but I didn't de-stress too much. Again, because I'm trying to keep my timing, the time that I spend on these journals a little bit less. This is the design paper. How pretty. There's a clock in the back. It's beautiful. And then this is some of my, I think this is coffee dye paper. And I am in love with this gorgeous sari right here. Let me bring it up here so you can see it. Look how pretty that is. And it has a little bit of a shimmer. So all I did, because I didn't want to do another ruffle, I wanted this to be like my main ruffle. All I did was put like a little strip right there. And then, this can also be like a little tag. And then on this page, you can see the back of the paper, which is really pretty, liner paper. I did do a little bit of stamping up here, just a little bit. Not that this paper, excuse me, needed anything. This is another vintage receipt printable. And I love the color because the back of the designer paper, I run it through the copier with one of my tea-dye papers, and it's the perfect shade of pink, and it goes perfect with this receipt. Perfect. So you see plenty of room to journal on, and one of my messy tabs down here. There's plenty of room in this journal. It's skinny, but it's longer. Oh, I love this trim up here. I love it. It's like the perfect, I've been waiting to not to be so incredibly hot because I need to tea dye, and I like to do that outside. A lot of paper that I have it all ready to go, and a lot of laces and trims coming up. I put a little bit of trim down here. I love this ribbon. I love this trim. I love that. And then I did a little bit of stamping down there. This is the center, which you can probably put this if you want in the center. Why not? For the center, you can see the binding. I did a little bit of my stamping and my square lace that I love because it's so unusual. Did a little collage, and then a little bit more of my stamping, another crazy tab, messy tab here, and then more collaging, more stamping, and a little bit of the sari silk ribbon. Plenty of room to journal on. More of that pretty lace. The back of that receipt, and then here's like another little tab. It's really pretty. I used a little bit more of that pretty pink lace on top. This is from my gardening furniture that I have out there. When I tea dye paper like that, it comes out. It's really pretty. Left it blank. Plenty of room to journal. The back of that pretty receipt. Here I just did a strip of the sari silk, and this is the very back of the journal. And then here I have this really pretty lace that I love. This is tea dyed, and then I found the perfect little ribbon, like a little ribbon cord. It's a little bit darker, but it makes a great contrast against the that lace. And the back I already showed you. Okay guys, so these, like I said, they are already on my on my Etsy store. So like I said, I only made 2 of these. Let me know on the feedback on the back if you are enjoying these little smaller versions, thinner versions of my journals. But I think as far as my series in pink and stuff, I think I really needed to do one more pink project, get it out of my system. I really did. I think this will be the last one. Now I'm going to transition more into the fall colors and just start doing more of the fall journals, and then eventually, go into the Christmas stuff, which I love too. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoy these cute little, pretty and pink little cute cascading journals. Thank you, guys, and thanks for watching. God bless. Bye-bye.